Yo, this video is going to cover the shop and what might be the best bang for your buck. Sometimes you don't want to grind and possibly just want the top tier ship to boost your progression. So I'll break down the shop as well as take a look at the premium ships in the shipyard. When you get to any port, there will be a shop. You might ignore it starting out since you aren't sure if you want to spend money yet. However, there are some notable options that can be free or cost other resources in the shop. Starting out in the top left is the large chest. You can open these at times by collecting chest keys. You'll need to get 10 of them, but have a chance to get some serious loot. Many resources and perks can be unlocked, but most people gamble for the premium ship chance. Starting out, that could be a huge boost. To the right, dock in the port is how you can increase your max amount of ships you can have in your ports. While you can spend money, you can also use voodoo skulls to unlock these slots. So save your voodoo skulls instead of needing to spend money on them. I think a huge one is the hire caravan, which will basically move all your loot from one port to another. This saves a lot of trips back and forth if you move from the beginning area to a more advanced zone later on. At the beginning, you get one free use, so don't waste it, since after that you'll need to pay. Moving over to the design tab, there's a lantern that can be bought with just whale oil. 20,000 whale oil, but regardless, you don't need to use money for it. As you scroll down, notice that a few of the sails only need gold rather than coins. You can also customize these sails a few ways, such as stacking them on top of each other. This goes the same for bow figureheads, so take a chance to stand out from the rest. Lastly, on the subs tab, hold insurance is on the bottom right. You only use 40 scrolls and your loot is completely protected for an hour. This is incredibly useful for moving loot around, trading, guild battles, or even just wanting peace of mind. You could use this for the first time you want to try using a black flag to get extra experience and loot with no worries. You get scrolls through various means such as loot at sea, altars, and missions at the taverns. So keep these useful options noted for the shop. Now for when you want to spend actual money on a handful of coins. What is the most efficient way to use your newfound currency? First we have the 3 chest options at the top: large chest, ink and treasure, and imperial chest. If you'd like to gamble for the best ships, these are your go-to choices. Each one has a chance to give many other notable resources, but most people buying these are here for the ships. Large chest has a 3.6 chance for a premium ship, as well as a 0.13% chance for a unique ship. The ink and treasure has a chance for the Huracan, which is one of the most sought after ships in the game, only giving a 0.1% chance, but all the announcements of people getting it from time to time really creates a sense of envy and a desire to give it a shot. It also has a 1% chance to give 3,000 coins. For more gambling, the Imperial chest is really cool in the sense that you have a 0.5% chance to get early access to the new ships coming our way. Talk about standing out from the rest, using a ship no one else has in the game can be really exciting. And who knows how good or bad they are, you could be dominating the arena with the new ships before anyone else. Below on the left are a few resources you can buy straight out of the shop. I think the hire caravan purchase will save you a lot of time if you ever need to move in the future. Since the major update is changing the layout of the map, this might be a top purchase soon. Followed by the Imperial fragments, which save you many hours of grinding Imperials for their ships. However, collecting them is very doable. This is just a major time saver. The other options on this side seem to be case-by-case basis to me, so you'll need to decide how much you need them. On the right side, there are some package deals here. I think the 2 that stand out to me are the Quick Start and the Battle Pack. If you're just starting out, getting the Quick Start is huge. You'll get a fully stacked Tier 3 heavy ship, which will let you dominate early game. I suggest not using Decoy or Black Flags with this, since the repair will use resources you haven't crafted yet. Upgrading to the Battle Pack is basically the same thing, however you get a Tier 1 combat ship. This would be almost ridiculous to start the game with this, since this is what most people grind weeks for. But that's why you're paying for it. A head start to avoid that. Once again, don't get overly confident, since the repair with this ship will be one of the most expensive. So starting out, it can be a blessing and a curse. At the bottom, you can buy straight game currency, which is officially the fastest way to make money. Right off the start of the design tab, you'll see the individual sail design. I think this is by far the coolest option for cosmetics to me. You get to upload your own design, which is then placed directly on your sails. I don't know the limitations of this, however the cost is hefty, 6,800 coins. Moving on from there are these lanterns that give you a permanent buff when you equip it to your ship. You can choose which ones you want, but I think the most popular would be the red lantern, giving 5% maneuverability, 5% damage, and 7% experience and loot. A bit of everything basically. However, I know people who get the white for just when they want more loot, and switch to yellow when they want to do more damage, for port battles for example. Below the lanterns are strictly skins for sails and flags, which can customize your ship. Decoration tab is what it sounds like, just decor. Figureheads as well as changing the hull design for your ship can look really cool at times. I always notice the people that choose white for their hull, it makes them stand out for the better or worse. Next is the subs tab, which holds the most notable Captain's Seal. When you first start out, I believe you're equipped with a 3-day Captain's Seal. This allows for a very quick progression at the beginning by giving 40% experience and loot, as well as a bonus for arena and quests. Depending on how fast you want to speed through early game, you can get 3-day, 7-day, up to permanent. Below that you have the Peace Treaty, which basically allows you to avoid PvP everywhere you go, other than outside the map. I see people using this most of the time flying through the center of the map, aka PvP zone. So people wanting to take advantage of the benefits of dangerous waters can use this to avoid other players. If you have set up all your mines and maxed out your crafting skills for your port, but just don't have time to wait around for the mines and crafting time to slowly come back, speed it up for a week with hired miners, increasing the crafting limit by 50%, also increasing recovery and speeding up your mines. As for which premium ships to purchase, this list will be word of mouth rather than experience. The one that stands out the most is of course the Tier 2 Neptuno for the combat ships, which outperforms the Sans Perel in maneuverability and speed, as well as hold weight. Next would be the Tier 2 Firestorm, which is essentially the best ship in the fast ship class. Holding its own with more durability, armor, and crew makes this ship the top boarding ship in my opinion. Equipped with the special weapon Alchemical Fire, you're getting in close with your speed, holding your own while flaming down your enemy to board them. Next would be the Tier 1 ship for the heavy line, Santissima Trinidad. The Trinidad has more speed, turn speed, and cannons than the Apostolov, but notably get plus 15% experience and loot from battles, so that's some serious early game progression. Next I've heard a favorite is the tiny Tier 4 Sparrow. You'll see in the siege line that there is simply an empty space where a Tier 4 siege would be. The Sparrow fills this slot with a twist, by only having 4 main cannons to its name, but comes with 3 mortars in the front, giving a smaller, more agile version of the Royale. While these are only 8-inch mortars, or heavy mortars, the speed, turn speed, and sheer size makes this little guy hard to hit. This is the true hit-and-run ship by shooting 3 mortars and sailing out without worry of the wind, because of the unique sails. If you're a heavy ship and see a group of these little guys, you might as well just sink yourself and end your suffering. These are the most popular that I've heard about, however there are a variety of other ships here, each with their own unique way of standing out from the rest. Beyond this list, see what stats you might be wanting. Among the premium ships, there are a handful of ships that you can simply get through gathering resources. However, you could buy some of the resources in the shop as well to speed things up. The Sovereign stands out among the rest to me, since it is almost on par with the Victory in the combat line. However, to replace the lack of cannons, it is equipped with 2 7-inch mortars. That makes this ship a beast, being able to engage or finish a target with mortars before turning to do real damage. Sometimes being versatile can outplay a ship primed for one way of combat. The Flying Cloud holds its name by being the fastest ship in the game. The ship starts out being able to go 11.5 knots, but arguably the most impressive part is that it has a 3,000 hold weight. If you are a trader, I think this would be one of your go-to ships, being able to fly through the center of the map, without a worry that someone will catch you, while having an impressive hold of loot. And that's without adding additional upgrades for speed or weight limit. Once again, there are many more options to get, but picking out the most popular I've heard about. Going forward, I hope to be able to test out each and every ship to be able to give a detailed breakdown. But as a notable mention, this is not part of the premium line, is the Balloon. This can go 20 knots and can loot your Battlemark mines with the low weight limit. I'm sure everyone has seen one fly by at some point, and how to get it can include a few premium ships. When you're looking at the shipyard, you'll notice those stars under specific ships. You'll need to have collected 12 of these starred ships to unlock one of the requirements for the balloon. Only 11 those ships are in the ship tiers above, so you'll need at least one of the premium ships. If you don't want to use money, you'll eventually get the Sovereign sooner or later then. Hopefully this gives some people a little direction on how they want to spend their money on this game. There are many perks and packages that will either boost you out of early game or make you have an edge on others. The 4 new ships in the shipyard will soon be released, so keep an eye out for what people might think about them, and I'll be sure to make a video about the most popular ships.